What time you?
5:30 to 6:30. 5:30 in the morning to 6:30. Hooping. Hooping. We live?
Yes, sir.
Hooping. No, I'm
What
just
time? What time you went there?
literally 5:30.
Oh, 5:30.
Bro, it'd be a line to walk in. Like
Really?
them old folks, they be like
So
soon as the door open,
they
boop.
be waiting.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's real. I
Dang.
wake up at 5. I BS until about 5:15. Jump in the car and be there at 5:30, and I'll leave at 6:30.
She. That's
It's a
a good
good
way
way.
to start the morning, though, especially
Exactly.
with the cardio.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
leave out of there sweating bullets. Take a shower. I got enough time to do all that before I get here at 9.
Yep.
Simple as that.
No, that's facts, though.
Yeah.
Great way to start the day off.
That's
Should
that
we-
5 a.m. club.
Yes, sir. So we back in business with Worth Your Time podcast, episode 4. 4 weeks straight. Dang, that's a month.
Just that quick.
Dang,
Just that quick.
that's
Let's go.
crazy. Speaking of months, one, how are you feeling? And two, it's August 2025. How does that make you feel? Like,
I'm
how does
feeling
that?
great.
you know?
It's a special feeling because I was born in August. My son was born on that same day, 28 years later. So I'm gonna be 35. He gonna be 7.
That's fire.
Yep. So August
That's
is
dumb
always
tough.
like it's just lit to me. And then I feel like after my birthday, it's like, all right, now it's time to. Now it's fall. In my head, it's like, yeah, summer over. As soon as my birthday hit, the 21st is the day after. Yeah, okay, it's fall to me.
Yeah.
And focus on September really. But for now, we good. It's a beautiful day outside. I can't complain.
That's
The
facts.
Lord woke us up. Did you go to church yesterday?
I didn't because I had a
Okay.
game.
Oh, yeah.
But I usually, if I have a game, I'll just I'll get in the Word, get in the Bible, and I listen to a couple of different preachers on YouTube and stuff. A guy that I've been listening to a lot. His name is Philip Anthony Mitchell.
Okay.
He definitely be getting me in my bag. Yeah, made me think very,
Shout out
Very
Philip Anthony Mitchell.
that's a fact. And what day does your birthday fall on?
It falls on a Wednesday and it's the 20th. And the funny thing is, bro, I got like 4 meetings that day, but they're all gonna happen before like 3. And then my son, he wanna go everywhere, but his main thing is he love Blaze Pizza. So usually I get him Blaze Pizza, but he like for his birthday he want 2 Blaze Pizzas. Cause he could wash up a whole pizza by his dolo. Like,
Really?
He loved that pizza.
Yo,
It's
that's
good. Shout
tough.
out to Blaze Pizza too, but
And then does he like customize his own?
he hella plain, bro. It's basically a cheese pizza with the pesto sauce, no red sauce. He don't mess with the red sauce, but he like, yo, for my birthday I need double. So I'm like, you got it. Okay. Simple as that.
That's fine. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's
One other thing that's funny is like he want to go to Chuck E. Cheese too. So it's like we literally just go to Chuck E. Cheese to go. We don't get no food from there because he don't want their pizza.
They pizza type fire though, low key.
I be trying to tell him. I worked at Chuck E. Cheese. I know
They
it's
pizza
fire.
is fire.
Yeah,
like
but
that. They pizza like top 3. I
He
ain't gonna lie.
bougie because he only going for Blaze Pizza. It's only a couple pizzas he mess with, but if it's not really those 3, he like, I'm good. Like I don't even want it.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
but yeah, August is a lit month for me.
All right. Well, it's definitely a time to enjoy in general, but know that that on your birthday, that's a day that you're just naturally blessed,
That's a
by
fact.
by God and the universe. So definitely embrace that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask also, like, it's August 2025, so like we more than halfway through this year already. Is there anything that like you've learned this year that has been like, wow, like something that's just like shocked you or meant a lot?
I wouldn't say learned it. Like I probably learned a lot, but the main thing that I feel that I've stepped into this year is just really cultivating relationships and just not like, hey, hi, bye. It's more so like, all right, the most important people in my life, I got to be more intentional about really, reaching out, touching base, checking in. And when I say cultivating relationships, just understanding like what in this relationship, whether it be me and another business or me and another person, what can I do to bring value to them? I've been focused on that, and good things have been happening. And then not so much focused on what I can get out of the relationship, because really, if that's what I'm focused on, I'm not really giving them my best. So what I realize is me giving them my best will end up creating that byproduct of whatever it is that I think I could get in return. At the same time, too, just understanding like, out of all the relationships I have with everybody I know who knows me, maybe some I've not spent enough time with, so I shifted towards okay, let me, basically just be more present, and then others that kind of made it so maybe I was giving them too much time, and I decreased that, and it's still cool. So that's what I could say. What about you though?
I would say, I mean, this year is everything's new this year. To be
Uh-huh.
honest, like we got the wellness company
Mm-hmm.
going strong. Just had the wellness fair Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Did pretty good there.
That's what's
Gave
up.
out a good number of business cards, raised awareness. It was just great overall, like a great event. Um, it was just good to see a whole bunch of people just focus on different aspects of wellness in the Syracuse area,
Right.
and I feel like it just bring people together.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
what's up.
then, obviously, I just became a financial advisor this year, so
Mm-hmm.
everything. I feel like the first half of the year was just like understanding what
Yeah.
I'm doing,
Yeah. Yeah.
and building a foundation. I feel like the foundation is like I got a couple more bricks to lay,
Yeah.
and then that foundation is solid. Like I feel like the foundation is to the point where it's become very solid, and then I can start building up those walls.
Yeah.
Um, but overall, I've just been kind of just changing in a good way.
Yeah.
Like,
Evolving.
yeah, exactly. Evolving. Like the things that I used to do, I don't do. The things that I used to find fun, I don't find fun no more.
Mm.
Everything just started to become way more intentional, and you know, rooted around purpose in general. So I
Yeah.
can fulfill my purpose, put myself in a better position, give out a whole bunch of information, help as many people as possible. And I feel like all of that stuff is one for a good cause, but also that brings like fulfillment to not only myself but to people around me,
Mm.
which is cool. So it's a evolving year overall. This next half of the year is definitely about execution,
Mm-hmm.
learning new things, learning better ways to navigate situations, navigate different spaces, and just get better in every category.
I
So
respect that. That's good. That's a great answer.
it's been a ride. It's been a ride so far. I've been spending a lot of time in the house, a
Mm.
lot of time in the house, but it feels like I'm in kind of like isolation. The isolation is needed though,
Yeah.
especially if you
Yeah.
want to get to the next level.
Yeah. You gotta block out the noise.
Yeah.
So
So
sometimes it's the best place to do it is in the house.
yep, exactly. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, so to kind of dive into the questions.
Let's go.
So, what is like your thoughts around the phrase "don't trade your soul for money"? How? Because we're in an age where a lot of people are doing that. Like they're putting their morals to the side
Mm-hmm.
so they can get $1, versus keeping their pride is the devil. It says it in the Bible. Pride is the devil,
Okay.
and they're putting their morals to the side and for $1. But it's ways to make money out here that you can do it one legally, but you can do it to a point where you don't have to
Yeah.
trade your soul for money, and that happens a lot in the music industry as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple things I could say about that, but the main thing I want to say is you got to really think about the fact that, like, okay, let's say you trade your soul for money.
Hmm.
Was it, it's probably never going to be a substantial enough amount of money for that to ever make sense. So that's the first thing.
Hmm.
Second thing I want to say is, like, okay, when it comes to you doing that, right? If
Hmm.
that's what you're doing, how long was that money supposed to last? Like, because it's almost like, let's say somebody robbed a bank,
Hmm.
right? So I remember I told my son a bedtime story about somebody who robbed a bank, basically to imply that like that person gets caught. But the point I'm making is like you putting your soul on the line for something that is infinite when it comes to money, right? And there's not ever going to be a time where you have enough money in my mind. Like there's never going to be, oh, I got enough. In
Hmm.
theory, yes, but there's always gonna be that one-off thing that pops up where it's like, damn, like, okay, I need more money, or oh, yeah, I have money, but it's like, what can I do to take some of it to make more, that kind of thing. So like, whoever's selling their soul for money, I would ask them like, why is your soul ever in anywhere close value to money, right?
That's a fact.
And then one little, like, I guess added point is in the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, the rich dad always kind of joked like, I don't work for money, money works for me. That was his mantra, and I'm like, the more I think about it, I'm like, damn, that's pretty dope. Like that's how I want to be too, because once you start to really think about it, if you're working for money, there's no real end in sight. But if money works for you, everything gets easier. So I've been focused on trying to do that, because if someone in the world can do that, I would like to be one of those people. Simple as that.
And I feel like focusing on money specifically is like it's kind of like hindering yourself to a point. Yes, you want to go get it. Yes, you want a good amount of it, but focusing too much on the actual money itself can make you like steer away from the actual actions that you're supposed to be doing to get the money.
Exactly.
And then people like to idolize materials. They like to idolize money, and I read in Proverbs last night. It said if you're eager to get rich, you won't be able to because you're chasing the money itself. You're supposed to chase God and chase fulfillment and prosperity and abundance in a spiritual realm in order to get the money, and focus on the things that a person can actually do physically in terms of like action and execution, so that you can do the activity to get the money versus focusing on the money. Because if you just think about, oh, I want money, and you're not doing nothing towards it, you just talking. That's not going to get anything done. So really, if you just focus on the activity and the execution of what you're supposed to be doing, or the thing that's income producing activity, is what we should be focusing on.
That's exactly right. I mean, if you really think about it, since money is actually infinite, you need to really think about how, like, hey, I should never have to do that much to get it, because there's always a way to get some. And then the other thing is like, yeah, like the more, it seems like, I could be wrong, that's just my opinion, but it seems like the more you chase money, the more it's gonna run. So
That's
why
facts.
are you doing that?
That's facts.
Let's just be honest and keep it simple. The more you chase it, the more it's gonna run. And then you look around at people who are better off, and they never chase the money. It's almost like the money is attracted to them.
That's
And
facts.
that plays into everything we talk about in the last few episodes, as far as like money being a frequency and just kind of being aligned with the universe, so that money can just be attracted to you, rather than you on the hamster wheel, and the money's hanging up and you just running and it just never ends.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
yeah.
And I think like in terms of like materials, like what point in your life did you realize that clothes, shoes, materialistic things don't really matter?
Oh, that's a great question. Let me really think. Probably, I would say probably around when my sons were born, like so 7 years ago. Cause before that, yeah, I still got a lot of stuff. Like I was a collector of sorts. I'll say that. But here's the thing. A lot of the things that I've bought, whether it be shoes, clothes, whatever, jewelry, it's almost like the more I spent on it, the less I wore it. So that was already like kind of a red flag on the low. Like the stuff I pay a lot for, I don't even end up using a lot. The other thing is that started to like kind of make me think like, damn, like when I didn't have whatever it was, I was all over it. And then once I bought it, that feeling is gone, because I already got it. Like it's over. So it's sitting in the closet right now. You know what I mean? And then the other funny thing is, me and my business partner talk about this all the time. I feel like, especially here in Syracuse, if you grew up and get to like high school, college, where you kind of are known for having a sense of style and you've been seen with this or that, you already kind of made your mark. Like I could wear the same stuff over. It's almost like Adam Sandler. Like everybody know he rich, so he could walk in wearing anything.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna be like, yo, he a bum. Nobody will do that. So especially being here in Syracuse, and it's so small, and you've been here your whole life, it don't really matter what I got on. Like people kind of know, like he one of them ones. I would hope to think, but I would say, to really answer your question, probably I was 28. So my 28th birthday, I'm in the hospital with my wife having my first son. All the other things that I own and have, they don't really matter no more.
Mhm.
So that's when I started to be like, well, what can I use my money for that'll actually help me, and I can actually have something tangible 10, 15 years from now,
Facts.
as opposed to just, oh yeah, them Jordans coming out, like, I'm grabbing them. Once you
Mhm.
get them, it's like, okay. Like,
Nah, that's
matter of
facts.
fact, we moved in the house we live in. We moved in 2022 in August.
Mhm.
Some of that stuff is still in the boxes in the basement. Like,
Whew.
I'm talking some heat. I never unpacked it, so I don't
Yeah.
need it.
Yeah.
So that's what really showed me, like, okay, I'm doing the right thing
Yeah.
now.
And I feel like, well, one, that's a great birthday gift
Facts.
for starters.
It was like my last birthday. From now on, I don't really got a birthday. It's always gonna be his birthday.
Nah,
But it
that's
is what it
real.
is. Yeah.
That's real. And I feel like nowadays, in terms of like purchasing things versus purchasing something that's materialistic,
Mm-hmm.
um, it should be something that's gonna, one, either make you money or make life easier,
Yeah.
or allow you to just do more with life in general. Like
That's a fact.
like the only reason I got an Apple Watch was so that I can see myself when I'm recording, like
Mhm.
shooting content. So if I'm in the
Exactly.
gym, I gotta go up to my phone and press play and then kind of guess if I'm in the frame. I'm like, I can't keep on. I guess like I gotta know. So I got the Apple Watch so I can be
Yeah.
like, all right, cool. I can see where I'm at and I can press play. It's like a remote, pretty much.
Basically,
But
it's
that's
a
the only
tool
reason.
for
Yeah,
your business. If you
facts.
think about it.
And that's the only reason why I got it. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, cool. And in terms of like materialistic things, like shoes, clothes, stuff like that, if I, when I got this job, I needed some more professional looking clothes. So it's like I could either rotate the same like 3, 4 shirts, or I can
Mhm.
get some more shirts so I can
Yeah.
have more variety and look more
Investing in
professional.
that business.
Exactly. So it's like at this point, most of the things that I do buy is either an investment on myself or an investment into the business or
Mm-hmm.
something that's just gonna make me better in general. Whether that's like a book or something that's like valuable. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I just want to add. I feel like once you have that level of value, whether it be the functionality from your watch or the clothes and how they make you feel and how you perform,
Mhm.
that's when it becomes like it's not. To me, it's not materialistic at that point because it's serving a function,
Mhm.
right? So, and that's just my opinion because if you think about it, everybody's watching this, and both of us have things that we might have bought because we liked it, but it's just like, what purpose does it serve? And if you can't answer that, it's like, yeah, I don't even need it then.
Mhm.
There's no way I need it if I can't figure out what is it doing for me.
That's
So,
a fact.
yeah.
And to touch on that, what's your thoughts around the 50-30-20 rule? Do you think that's the right percentages? Like
It,
50% to your needs, 30 to the wants, or yeah,
I'll tell
50
you
to
what,
needs, 30 wants, 20 to
it's a
investment.
good framework,
Mhm.
but it's not for everybody because everybody's situation will be different. I think,
Mhm.
and that's why I call it a framework because it's not bad, it's not wrong,
Mhm.
but some people might be in a situation where, like, maybe you live with your mom where you could do 50-50, like 50 needs and 50 just straight to invest in the saving. It could be
Mhm.
that because,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have to buy groceries. I don't have to, that kind of thing.
Facts.
Um, I don't know that number, so we live. We're gonna keep it going. But when it comes to the 50-30-20, I think this is huge. We should teach it more. And the 20 going towards like either just 10% savings, 10% investments, or all investments, or whatever. As a matter of fact, nowadays I'm thinking like, bro, I don't even want to save money no more. I'm gonna just invest. Like, because if you think about saving,
Yeah.
like it makes sense, but the deeper you think, it kind of doesn't. Like if I
Yeah.
had 100,000 sitting in a bank account, that's bad.
Yeah,
That's
nah,
not
for sure.
good. So
Facts.
the less money I have in a savings account, the more money I'll have in an investment account. And that's just the way I look at it. I was telling a client probably last week, like, you got to stop looking at investing as like gambling. Like, oh, I'm going to flip this and flip. No, it's just
Mhm.
the money you don't need that you would have saved, you better off saving it in your brokerage account than the
Mhm.
bank. And he just was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So
Yeah.
that's my thoughts. But the 50-30-20 rule, like I said, it's a good framework, but everybody's gonna be a little teeny bit different. That's almost like the 50-50 thing with dating. Like, what you think, it's always gonna be somebody that's on one side and somebody on the other.
Mhm.
So there's no real right answer. But if I was somebody who didn't know anything, that's probably where you should start.
Mhm.
To be honest.
I mean, the only reason I say that is because like I was talking to a client about it actually, and like 30% to your wants and 20% to saving and investing. Like if you think of those two, which one is more important? The things that you want or saving and investing?
I guess it depends on what you want.
I mean, what if it's like, what if it's just like materialistic things that have no value? Or wants could be like entertainment. You know, I feel like people should definitely implement
Yeah.
some type of like fun activities.
Yeah.
Not like take a trip every month, but like do something so you don't burn out.
Yeah.
Because it's so much, you know,
I agree.
life is a lot. You know, it's so much going on that you kind of have to, whatever it is that you like, whether that's music or getting out in nature, taking a hike, or going bowling with family, or just being
Facts.
around family, doing a cookout, something like that.
It's
That
a
could be a
must.
want.
It's a
You
must.
know?
You have to do it, but you do it within reason. So yeah, you shouldn't be in Jamaica every month. You shouldn't be taking crazy trips. And then the other thing is we do have to factor in like sometimes it's now our needs, our wants cost more. So it's like you really got to factor in that being a thing, but also, man, you need to focus on making more. Because if you make more, your 50% will be larger.
Facts.
Your 30% will be larger. So um, I wouldn't even spend that much time thinking about, oh, well, how much should I put? It should be how much more can I make? If I had an okay month, cool, but how can I make more? And then kind of keep progressing from there. So
I agree. And Money Man said, I was watching this interview, and Money was like, if you don't watch your money, then you don't want it.
that's so true. That, I believe that. Like the least I look at my bank account, the more I'm not doing that well. If I wake up and I'm looking at bank accounts, investment accounts, all my accounts, it kind of gives you a little bit of like, all right, I know what's going on. Let me go make some moves. But I know sometimes people, you know, you can be so broke, like I don't even want to look, and it's like that is the wrong thing to do because it's no way to really have a plan to go forward if you don't even know how much money you got.
Yeah, facts.
So that's
And I can start with just budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people don't budget; they kind of just
Wing it.
do it on the fly. Like
Just
if you don't
winging
know what's coming in, if you don't know what's going out,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, I'm gonna just take whatever I got in this month and then use it for what I
Yeah.
need to pay for. And if you haven't like sat down and really like laid out all of the things that you have to pay for on a monthly basis, ranging from, you know, bills, groceries, car insurance, rent.
People scared of that. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I hope somebody jumps in the comments and says I'm wrong. Maybe I am, but people scared to do that. People are afraid to sit down and face the facts and print out them bank statements, Cash App statements. Man, listen, people scared to do that. You should, but
Yeah.
I would bet people like,
It's
I
like
know
a
I
little
should
bit
do
of,
it, but I
it's
don't
like a
want
little
to.
touch of fear.
It
Like
is.
it's just a little bit. Of course, like when it comes to finances, you could even tell like when people have conversations, people don't want to talk about their money, especially if it's not where they want it to be. They don't want
Yeah.
to talk about it, but they need to talk about it. They have to talk about it. Like if
Yeah.
you want to do better with money in general, you have to face your fear, like face what you're going through,
Yep.
and be strategic about it. Because once you have control, I mean, if you're not looking at anything, you're not budgeting, you're not writing anything down, then you just like
You
like
lack
whatever
control
whatever
at that
happens,
point.
happens.
You can't control it if you're not looking.
Exactly, and it's like if you want to be in control, one, you gotta look at your bank account, you gotta look at your streams of income, you gotta budget, and you gotta put some type of strategic game plan in place so that you can have more control and get in a position that you want to get into.
Yeah, yeah, and usually that takes time. So that's why I think people shy away from it. And then the other thing is, what I try to do is find a way to talk about the money a little bit more smooth. Because you're right, people avoid finance as a subject, but I feel like if we can find a way to have the conversation or ease into it or whatever, it's a little bit better. But that's not something we usually perfect. So I've been trying to perfect that so that people don't feel away and people feel empowered. That's what I would want. Like, I don't care if you got $1 to your name. Like, hey, look, you got more than the guy who has no dollars to their name.
Nah, that's
So
a fact.
that's all.
That's real, because I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, it has to be some type of, you know, some type of eagerness to get everything under control. Because once you have things under control, it just makes life a little easier. You know, that financial health is really important. Like if your money is not right, then that's just like constant stress, and stress is not good for
It'll kill
the
you.
human body. Like
It'll
it's just
kill you.
not. Like stress is one of the biggest hurdles that people have to face, and it just makes life a little harder
Definitely
and
true.
harder to manage. So I was gonna ask also, and speaking of income streams, what do you think is a major key or major keys to building multiple streams of income without burning out?
You gotta master one first. A lot of times people try to have 7, and
Mm-hmm.
you basically just got 7 problems at one time. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you can master one, that's great, and it might take time, and then do another. And when I say master one, maybe that's just being really good at your job. Like I got a 9 to 5, I'm the man, everybody knows me, everybody loves me. That takes time, but that can once you got that mastered, now you can focus on the second one.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have the first one mastered, it's almost impossible to master the second one. That's just
Mm-hmm.
really that simple. Um, and then the other thing is, just try to always be an open book. Like I probably wouldn't have any streams of income if I thought I knew everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try to take some game from wherever, and and I'm not mad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I can copycat almost any business and make it my own, but I don't feel anything wrong with copycatting. But some people think they gotta reinvent the wheel, and it's like most rich people never do that. They just
Mm-hmm.
go, oh, what's that over there? Okay, I'm gonna do that too. That's
Mm-hmm.
just it. So don't complicate it. Keep it simple. Simple
Yeah,
as that.
that's a fact. And it was another question I was gonna go into that kind of ties to that. The thought of if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if it's working, if it's worked for multiple people,
Yeah.
then
Keep the main thing
there's
the main
something
thing.
going on. You
Hmm.
know. So
For some reason, people think making more money has to be more complicated, and it is. I would say, in my opinion, it's the complete opposite. Like every business you can think of is pretty simple. Every
mm-hmm.
big business, like even regular like a laundromat,
Mm-hmm.
that is a very simple business, and people make tons of money because it's just this is the model. It is what it is. Run it and run it over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
My businesses are like that too. It's like it's never really that complicated, and I found out what works, so I don't need to change it. Matter of fact, I had a client call this morning, and they kind of got apprehensive. They, oh well, I don't really know. I want to put my credit card number on file. That's fine. If you don't want to do that, that's okay. I wasn't gonna revert to say, okay, we'll do cash. Nope. Just if you don't want to do that, and you see we're legit, you found us. You see 5-star reviews. You see everything you need to see that makes us legit, and you don't feel right, then maybe we're not for you. And then I didn't book that service, so it's like okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the phone will keep ringing. So
That's a fact.
you get to a point where you can realize that, but when you first start, everything matters, and oh, I want to, and it's not always the best. So
Mm-hmm.
they always say like all money isn't good money, and I believe that.
So to touch on business, like what's your outlook on business now versus when you first started?
That's a good question. I would say it's I would say it's kind of similar. It didn't really change. My thoughts on businesses like, all right, how can I create something that's very simple that generates income or
Mm-hmm.
generates, let's just say generates revenue,
Mm-hmm.
and how can I make it so that I can remove myself from the business so that I can do other things.
Mm-hmm.
If I was like when I first started, I knew I wanted to do that, but I knew I couldn't yet because I was just starting.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you really think about it, if I'm trying to do so much within a business, the business can never grow that far. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like a ceiling.
Yeah.
And the key to me, the key to business is people. It's not about the product or how you do this or that. If you don't have enough people, you'll never be able to scale the business.
That's facts.
Like even with AI, it's like no, you still need a certain amount of people.
Mm-hmm.
So the more people I get, the more money I can make. It's really that simple.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm just trying to work within a 3-person team, cool. But if I had a 30-person team, I think the results could be times 10. So
100%.
that's just how I look at it.
That's more power, more freedom, more time,
Exactly,
more
and just
knowledge.
let me. I feel like a lot of business owners can't let go of the reins. They
Mm-hmm.
want such control that they realize you kind of in your own way. Like
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm blessed to have people I trust that can really do what I do without me being there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's exactly how I want it because it empowers them, and it makes it so that like they can make more, and the more money you make, really, if you think about it, you that doesn't mean you make more money.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in business, you got to think of the business as its own thing. And if the business is bringing in money, yes, you will have some type of cut that's yours.
Mm-hmm.
But I forget what businesses was, and this is just an example to kind of go with it. Their revenue was $64 million, but the owner got 4 million. So it's like, damn, well, he didn't even get the other 6. He got 4 million.
Nah,
So
that's a fact.
that's a small piece of the revenue, but at the same time, that means the other 60 million went to the people doing the work or buying more products or marketing or whatever. But the higher the numbers, you start to realize like if I say, yo, let's make a business, try to get it up to be maybe 64 million a year, you'll get 4 million. Would you be mad? But that's because you got a better outlook. If some people go, well, it's 60, I should be getting like half. That's impossible. Even if it was possible, that means you wear every hat in the business.
Yeah.
Do you really want to do that?
It's
Probably
a lot
not.
of work. That's why a lot of people get into business so they can not have to do the work. They can stay at home if they wanted to, and the business is running itself because it's people there that is trustworthy. Everything is put in place. Obviously, you gotta build that foundation kind of on your own, unless you got a business partner. But I've done some research, and a lot of the biggest businesses, the people that own the business don't even get paid that much. Or they get a small percentage of what the business is doing, and that other percentage goes to, like you said, investments, marketing, the people that's doing the job, and that's ultimately gonna help the business scale. And there's 4 quadrants of income, right? And it's you got employee. That's where you trade your time for money. You go work for somebody. They give you compensation based off how many hours you work.
Right.
And then you got self-employed, and that's where you work for yourself. And self-employed is good. It's better than being an employee.
Yeah.
But if you're self-employed, you still have time connected to money.
Yeah.
And if you have time connected to money, it's like you have to be there in order to get paid. That means if you don't work, you don't get paid. And then it's an investor. That's just where you invest your money, where the money works for money. And then business owner, where you have people and people make you the money. And that's where you can you have leverage, because if you're not there, you're still getting paid.
Right.
And they say that everybody, if you want to be really wealthy, you want to be on that right side as a business owner and as an investor.
Right.
Versus being an employee or being self-employed.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a unique way to look at it. Like if you really want real wealth. And I was gonna ask, like, what's your thoughts on like the 4 quadrants and how that works?
Well, I agree 100%, and I wanted to add in, like, what happens typically is people don't make it to that other side of the quadrant. They don't, like, most business owners that I know, the business does not work unless they're there. Like, and there's no disrespect to those owners. What I'm saying is, most times people start a business because they have an idea, and then they think, okay, I can do that, but they don't think further than that. They think, okay, like they're programmed almost to work in the business, not on the business. The people who I know who own businesses, usually it's like you basically just have a job, but you control the job. Prime example, I was thinking about buying a construction company, and on paper, this is $1 million company, but it's just one employee, the owner. And it's like, well, if I buy it from you and you've had such a great run, and somebody realizes, oh, he's not a part of this no more, the business value is tanking now because you did everything. You never outsourced, so you thought you owned a business. You really didn't. You just had a job that you created.
Wow.
That happens all the time. Matter of fact, if you're watching this, I guarantee you could think of somebody who has a business, but if they took a week off, that business would fold. So that's not really a business to me. But if they think it's a business, that's cool. I'm never gonna, talk down on anybody, but like I'm just stating facts. And that happens a lot. So I knew starting out, I wanted to be in a position where I'm helping people make a lot of money because they work for me, but I don't need to be present.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I've been blessed. Shout out to my business partner, because he does a lot of that, but he's even learning, like, all right, I can make a teeny bit less and save a lot more time. So I don't need to be in the field as much. The more I can get people to be in that realm of thinking, the better. Simple as that.
That's real.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to business, like anybody can start a business, but to scale a business, that's different. Everybody can't scale. That's why people just start a business and they just like, yeah, I'm about to start up this business, and I'm gonna get my website, and I'm gonna have my product, And anything once the business is like started and they put that they started the business is like is in the air and people know that they started the business, that really doesn't mean much, you know,
Yeah.
because you can
Not at
start a
all.
business, but getting revenue from the business consistently,
Right.
you have to scale the business. So
Yup.
when it comes to scaling the business, what's your thoughts on like someone going from where they are, they just started, but they don't have much knowledge on how to scale in general?
You got to, first of all, you should be reading, doing podcasts, basically looking for the information that you need. Simple as that. The other thing is you can't do it without people. Like, so if you're the type of person who needs control,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably not for you. It's like, if you really think about it, it can't be for everybody. That
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't make any sense. If everybody was a business owner, the world would be who knows what way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. The other thing is when it comes to scaling, you have to understand a lot about your business so that you can get others to buy in and also have a clear path on what happens when they buy in. Because nowadays, people so smart, like they're not really gonna buy into your vision more than their own. They might be like, well, I'm gonna see how he do it so I can go do my own thing. They might do
Mm-hmm.
that. And if you empower them to do that, you're probably better off than trying to, basically use and abuse for the longest because that won't work either. People just too smart. So if you just are upfront with people, like, hey, this is what it is. Here's what's in it for you, and here's how it operates. And also, as you start the business and you think you want to get to a point where you can scale, you gotta kind of document every little thing: how you do this, how you do that, when you do it, why you do it, the way you
Mm-hmm.
do it, so that then you can pass that to the next person. Like, this is how it goes, and you still gotta train them. But if you can't articulate what happens in your business, why, when, all of that, how can somebody pick it up and run?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that also goes into like just building trust. So as a business, you need to build trust for your clients, so your clients can trust you. Because to me, trust is the most important thing in business,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if I don't trust you, how can I do business with you? That doesn't make sense, right?
That's facts.
So on the other side of it, like, I guess the back end of the business. So the front end of the business is talking to clients and building that trust. The back end is building trust within the organization to know, all right, well, the owner knows what he's doing. The owner has the best interest of everybody, and he wants to empower people to do what he's doing. So that, like, if you really think about it, if I can get it to the point where I'm completely hands off, I can start a whole other business and also connect them, maybe
Mm-hmm.
start, like, kind of some vertical
Facts.
integration. So that's but I feel like really when it comes to being a business owner, it's all about vision. If you don't have the vision, you probably won't be a good owner,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why a lot of businesses fail. You see, oh, this business started 6 months later. Is it still around? Nobody knows.
Mm-hmm.
Not many businesses will make it past the first 2 years. This is why when you try to go get business funding, or you go into a bank and say you got a business, 9 times out of 10 they want to see 2 years of tax returns because they
Mm-hmm.
don't even believe you're gonna make it if you can't get that far.
Wow.
That's
Man,
so
that's real.
true. So
That's real.
yeah, it is what
That's
it is,
real.
man.
And when it comes to, building a business and being the actual business owner, when it comes to like leadership, people want to see a leader, like a good leader, a humble leader,
Yeah.
somebody that doesn't really, put too much emphasis on himself. Like the
That's why I say it
Bible,
ain't for everybody.
yeah, nah, for real. And the Bible says like, don't praise yourself, let other people praise you. Right? It says that in Proverbs. So, being able to see that and know that, it's like, okay, you can do what you have to do, but know that what you're doing is for the greater good of people, the
Facts.
greater good of you're helping somebody.
Or the company itself.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and when it comes to leadership, how important is leadership and professionalism when it comes to business as a whole?
Oh, I feel like it's everything. Like, imagine any business with a horrible leader.
Hmm.
Right? It's probably not gonna do well, or people don't like it. It's a bad culture. But then, what'd you say? You said leadership and
Professionalism.
professionalism for
Hmm.
sure. I forget who I told this to, but I feel like in business, no matter what line of business it is, the most important thing is communication. And as a business owner, if you can't communicate, it's a dub. Like,
Hmm.
let's just explain how, like, or not explain, but like just imagine somebody calls the phone of a business, the owner picks it up.
Hmm.
What's good? How you doing? What's up? What up with it? Where you at? Like,
What's popping?
yeah. Say that. All right, I'll be there. Like that. If that's how you talk, then that's probably a hustle, but that ain't really a business.
Hmm.
So as the owner, I was telling my intern this like being well spoken is a
Hmm.
skill, but it's a skill almost like dribbling a basketball. Like you can't take a day off. You can't take a week. You gotta continuously pound the ball to make sure your handle is good,
Facts.
basically. And even to take sports analogies out of it, it's just like, yeah, there's no days off. I can't wake up one day and think I'm standing on business and talk like I'm talking in the locker room,
Hmm.
right? So at any given moment, it might be the first time somebody sees you or hears you or whatever, and that's all they ever gonna remember.
Hmm.
The other thing is going back to building trust. If I'm well spoken, I'm pretty sure I can probably earn your business over somebody who's not well spoken,
Hmm.
or over somebody who might code switch and then slip again and then code. Like if you
Hmm.
can't communicate fluently in a certain tone, manner, demeanor, it's really hard to get your business up, running, and to the moon.
Hmm.
So I think that's just like, let's just say you a plumber and you a beast. Like your skill set is just A1, but you got bad communication. It's probably gonna be hard for you to be the me as the plumbing business owner where I'm gonna be, basically communicating excellently,
Hmm.
verbal and nonverbal,
Facts.
right? And written and like so that's the other thing. Like, can you write an email? If you can't write an email, that's another like red flag.
Hmm.
So it's a lot of layers to it, but it all is communication.
Hmm.
And if you are not an excellent communicator or at least trying to be, it's very hard to stay in business. It's
Hmm.
really that simple.
Facts. And even showing up on time.
All that.
Showing up on time is very important because if you know, have a appointment with somebody and you come late, that just
Hmm.
shows them that you're not as professional as you say you are.
No
So
way.
it's very important to manage your time wisely and use a calendar.
All that.
Um, like when I started this job, that's when I really started using the calendar. And before that, I was like I would know what I have going on in a week, but I wasn't like on top of my calendar to
Right,
the
right.
T like I
Yeah.
am now. Like now I'm like, okay, I'm meeting with certain people on certain days. If somebody want to talk business or talk some type of strategy or opportunity,
Yeah.
I'm putting that in my calendar. If I got a DJ, I'm putting that in my calendar. I can know exactly what I'm doing for the week just by looking at my calendar.
Let me ask, does that make you feel good?
100%, because I know what I'm doing. Like I'm not winging it, but also
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. I know exactly where I have to be, when I have to be there, and
Exactly.
then like we talked about, like implementing like fun stuff or something that's gonna
Hmm.
allow you to not burn out, like going hiking or just chilling at the crib
Maybe
with
just a
some
walk.
friends. Yeah, going on a walk, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like putting that into the calendar, so it's like you prioritizing yourself at the same time. You're not just prioritizing, business and work all the time. You prioritizing everything as a whole. You can't leave. I mean, if you just giving everybody else your time, giving your business all your time, giving this your
Yeah.
time, giving that your time, but you're not giving time to yourself, then it's like you leaving yourself behind, and
Exactly.
you really only got yourself in this
Yep.
life. You know what I mean? Of course, if you
Hmm.
got people around you that's positive, they helping you, they genuine, that's a plus because that's hard to come by.
Facts.
But prioritizing time for yourself is super important. Um,
Huge.
and then when it comes to like business, in terms of like working with people, whether that's friends or whether that's family, how do you kind of like navigate that? Because that can get a little messy, especially if it's friends and
Hmm.
family. People say don't go into business with your friends and family, but
Yeah. It is. It can be messy. I feel like for me, my businesses, I'm gonna work through people that don't know me first. Like I feel like my friends and family, they'll always be there. So
mm-hmm,
whether it's okay, you talking financial services, I don't need to go straight to my family when I first start because I feel like if I do, that could be cool, but if I don't, they'll come to me eventually. So that's
mm-hmm,
one thing. The other thing is like just being firm on how you want your business run and kind of having those boundaries
mm-hmm,
so that even if it's like your mother or your brother, you could be like, look, I still love you. It's just like this don't work. The way you are doesn't match the way the company wants you to be. Or,
the
I've
values.
had a ton of tough conversations, but it's always rooted in love. And also, I make it very clear to everybody. There's no mixing business and personal. So if
Mm-hmm.
you personally know me, but now we doing business, anything that happens business wise is not a personal thing. So
Mm-hmm.
if we gotta cut ties, I still personally am cool with you. Maybe I'll help
Mm-hmm.
you find a different job or whatever. But just know it was never personal if it had
Facts.
something to do with business.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the first and quickest way for things to just go left when you mix in personal and business, or when you're
Facts.
doing something business wise, and people might take it personal. You got to kind of highlight the fact that like, nah, don't take it. It's not you. It's not working for the business.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I don't really. I mean, I've done business with my family or had them in my business, but I don't do that all the time for that reason,
Mm-hmm.
and also just kind of understanding like they're always going to be there.
Facts.
So if they
Facts.
approach me and say, hey, I see what you're doing, maybe there's a way where I could help or I can make money or whatever, we have the conversation. But during that first conversation, I'm making it real clear like this is how things are
Mm-hmm.
and this is why. So at least they won't be confused at why is he you know exactly why I'm doing everything I'm doing or not doing certain things. And then
Mm-hmm.
usually, they get it because like I said, I keep business really simple. I don't like overcomplicating. So
Facts.
it's not easy. Don't get me wrong, it's not easy, but when you have those boundaries and
Mm-hmm.
also, you're talking about people who might have known you your whole life, they know what kind of person you are. So like most stuff will make sense to them. Or if they beefing or they mad at you over this or that, okay, mad is temporary. It's not gonna last. You're not gonna be mad
Facts.
forever.
Facts.
You take your time, I take mine. Whenever we cross paths again, I'm not gonna be mad at you. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
You might still be mad at me, but it's like 9 times out of 10, it probably wasn't my fault. But
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna
Facts.
throw that in
No,
there.
that's
But it is
facts.
what it is.
Yeah, man, that's real because sometimes it's like the way people perceive you. Sometimes, like
Hmm.
regardless of if people have known you for a long time, they tend to think of you as the person that you once was and
Yeah.
not the person that you are now. So it's like
Uh,
it's hard to change their viewpoint of you. Meanwhile, your viewpoint of yourself and who you are as a person has been changed, and
hmm
they may not even know who you are now because they have a preconceived notion on who you once was,
Right.
and that can kind of steer them to looking at you a certain way or wanting
Yes.
to come be around and thinking that, oh yeah, nah, we cool, I'm gonna be good. But once it comes to a point where it's like if somebody's working for you, I feel like when it comes to you know certain people, they may want to get a piece of what you have, or they may just want to be in a position to where it's like they can benefit themselves, and then they think because they cool with you, they can kind of like one up you, and
Mm.
that's like
Those are people you gotta keep away. Those people are
100%.
not really your friends. I mean, it's sad to say it, but it's like when you get that vibe, you just know like,
Hmm.
yeah, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And then the other thing
100%.
is kind of to touch on how you said like the preconceived image of you.
Hmm.
That's why I never really go towards my family first because it gives them room to see. Oh, okay, he evolved, and I get it. I see what he
Hmm.
on. Then they will come to you, and then it's such a win when you take your time like that, and they end up coming to you because you really don't got to do that much explaining. It's
Hmm.
like they see what you are doing, they see what you're working towards, so it's a little bit more smooth, I'll
Hmm.
say, because now they don't perceive you that old way anymore because they probably see what you're doing, they trust you,
Hmm.
it depends on the situation, but like that's to me the value of leaving your family on the back burner until they are ready because now they know like okay I see you've been posting on YouTube, I see you've been posting on Facebook, okay I get it, yada yada yada, you know what I mean, so
Hmm.
yeah.
And that's super important. Keeping it be hard because people be trying to people will act like they really rock with you, but meanwhile they want something in return, and it's
Bro.
like that's just not the right way to move about it. But that's why you gotta just keep your eyes open and make sure that the people that you do have around, like trust is trust is earned. It's not
Yeah.
given.
Yeah,
So you,
it's so crazy because you start to realize that, and then you also start to realize like, yo, some people that you come in contact with that's not your family could be closer to you than people that is family. Like, cause you
facts.
already know how it is. Like sometimes your family will do you wrong, or I'm not saying it happened to me, but like that being a thing makes it so that you really now can think like, yeah, if I'm creating a business or I'm doing something that's basically generating income, providing value, those strangers become your friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I'm spending more time with these people than my own family, but it's just like maybe them parts of my family, hey, maybe they need time to see me in this light, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's not meant to be, or whatever, you know. So that's it's just I don't know. I would tell anybody who has a business, understand that you will make the most money from strangers. Don't try to go toward support the movement. Come on, got a
Mm-hmm.
t-shirt business. You ain't buy a shirt yet. They
Facts.
never saw you as a t-shirt business owner. But these people who looking for shirts, you not going towards them, and they really your fans. Like
Facts.
that happens all the
Facts.
time. So
And to
go ahead.
touch on like the culture when it comes to like
Support the
shirts or something,
movement. Yeah,
yeah, like people that know you, they're like, yo, let me get a discount, let me get half off.
all of
But
that.
you
Nah,
ask for a discount for somebody that you know, but you gonna go to the designer brand or to the other person's brand that you don't even know. You're gonna pay full
exactly,
price to them, but you're not gonna pay full price to your boy. That's just that's kind of backwards in my
bro.
in my
It's
viewpoint.
it's a layer to that I wish people saw, because if I'm your boy,
Mm-hmm.
you sell shirts. I'm the want a discount dude.
Mm-hmm.
The layer that I wish everybody could see is if you do sell me at a discount, I'm never gonna look at your brand as full value.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you should never do that. But that's why I should never ask, like, oh, let me get a discount. Because if you got a certain design that I like more than a real big name designer, and I'm still trying to get it for the low,
Mm-hmm.
that just is something just really, really wrong with that. Because once that sale is made, now you owe them a discount forever.
Mm-hmm.
Now your brand is devalued forever. And now they're never gonna pair you up with a Ralph Lauren or whatever that everybody just knows.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you can't do that. Like I
Facts.
don't care who you are, you can't give a discount, especially on products, maybe services. But we talking products as
Mm-hmm.
in this example, and it's just like no, because you literally will devalue your own company from the jump by doing that. So yeah, I would
Mm-hmm.
tell anybody never do that. If you don't want to pay full price, cool, that's cool, but I can't. You just won't have a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Facts.
what it is.
Facts. And I feel like when it comes to having that value in your business, it's hard to kind of like one when it comes to support. If you like underground, whether
Mm-hmm.
that's you got a brand, you got a business, you doing music. If you underground, it's a lot of people from that a lot of people that you may know, and they may support you a little bit. They may not support you at all. But once you blow up, it's like now they come into support because you blew up. But when you was in the trenches and you was underground trying to build something up,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it'd be people that don't even know you that support you, especially when it comes to music. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I go on my Spotify for artists just to look at who's listening,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, Syracuse don't even be in the top three,
Exactly.
and I'm like, oh, all right, cool. So I guess in Paris they jacking me,
Mm-hmm.
and in New York City they jacking me, but it's like it's really people that I don't
Yeah.
know that support me OD.
Yeah, you
It's
know,
like,
to that point, that's why I always try to kind of help people understand in business in general. I don't
mm-hmm.
care if it's music, clothes, financial, whatever. You got to have a world view.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, especially people from a small town, whether it's Syracuse or wherever, they so focused on the little 500 people they know
Mm-hmm.
that it's like, bro, business is a world game.
Facts.
It's worldwide. It's global. And now with technology, it's a lot easier to be global. It's a lot easier for people to find you in Paris
Mm-hmm.
than it was in 1995, where it's like you got to get a tape to get over there somehow. See
Facts.
what I'm saying? So that shows why, yeah, you need to be head down, working, trying to build a community or following from whoever wants to listen to where you'll be fine
Mm-hmm.
if the people who know you support or not.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Facts. And that's real. I feel like that's just a kind of a good way to navigate because everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to be comfortable. They want to be in control of who they are as a person, in control of their money, in control of their health, and
Mm-hmm.
make sure all of that stuff is the best possible outcome that it can be. But when it comes to like building it up, that's when you start like getting problems, or
Mm-hmm.
you start seeing how people start changing towards you, whether good or bad. And then you kind of just got to start navigating how to go about situations,
Yeah.
navigating who you like are close with, who you can be cool with people in general, like
Mm-hmm.
across the board, but you just got to be like super. I ain't gonna say closed off, but you just
You
got
gotta
to
be
be cautious.
selective.
Yeah,
That's what I call it.
yeah,
You
selective.
gotta be selective. It is what it is. The
Hmm.
more selective you are, the better, I would say.
Facts. And to kind of to give people some game on, well, this is like the overall um, viewpoint for people that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would you say for people that's reaching they mid 20s, they reaching mid 30s, in that age group? What do you think is some things that they should have in place while they're building up, and what do you think is like maybe a play or two that they can run so that they know that they can be in a position to get to where they want to be?
Okay, so like a two-part question, but I want to before I answer it, when you say have in place, do you mean just like morals, or do you mean like, um,
Like financially,
oh, okay, okay,
things to like have
just
in
making
place
sure.
to make sure that they are good, or things that they should be looking to do so that they can start you know saving, investing, or whatever it is, and make sure
Okay,
that they good.
bet. So first things first. Honestly, I would say a job. Like financially, you need a job, and if you happen to have your own company, I want you to look at your job as the investor to your company.
Hmm.
I think what happens is people get caught up in this, oh, I don't want a boss, or I'm gonna be my own boss so much that they think working is not like cool or whatever. But if you got a job that you can tolerate, that
Hmm.
doesn't take too much of your time, or at least you can, like if you got a 9 to 5, all right, from 5 to 9 and from 5 to 9, those parts of your day is for you. The 9 to 5 is the job, whatever.
Hmm.
But a job is the first thing because income will be the blood of your business. It helps
Hmm.
it grow. First thing. Second thing, and this is not really financially, but I would just say you got to have a good character. Like you got to be a good person because then at your job you can be promoted, or at least you can get more supporters for what you have going on outside of work,
Hmm.
maybe. And then with that job, yes, take advantage of all the benefits. So if they give you life insurance, take it. Get your own life insurance too. But if you are that age, I would say get a term policy because it's gonna be under 100, sometimes under 50,
Hmm.
so that if anything were to happen, at least you have a huge death benefit from your job and your own personal policy that will be paid out to your loved ones. And I would also say get a will because a will is so easy to make now. You can make a will for free, even if you don't think you have a lot. At least put your life insurance benefit in there. Like this money will go to this person for this reason.
Hmm.
Another thing is I would say IDI, individual disability insurance, because in your building up, if you get hurt or you are too sick to work, how are you going to pay your bills? So
Hmm.
like for me personally, and being transparent, like I pay I think $34. If I get to that point where like all right, I can't work, $2,500 is coming in the mail every month to pay some of the bills I got. So that's for $34 to get 2,500. That's a no brainer. A lot of people just don't know about IDI though. So
Hmm.
those
Facts.
two things for sure, but it kind of still comes from the job. The job will help pay for those things.
Hmm.
And then a brokerage account. I have a brokerage account at Chase. I don't even go to Chase. I don't even really like Chase, but I said, all right, I'm gonna find one or whatever, right?
Hmm.
And I only did that because I know that, like I said earlier in the episode, if I have a certain amount of money that I would have saved, because I don't want to go into it and I want to save it up, I want to build it. I'm better off just investing the money
Hmm.
instead of sitting the money and then sitting more money on top. It's just because the the thing that's messing with my head so much lately is the fact that like money is infinite, so the value is always going down. Like
Hmm.
there's never going to be a time where cash is going to be more valuable than it was a long time ago. So it's like I don't want my cash to sit somewhere where I'm not getting money for it. So a brokerage account makes it so that that basically is your savings account. Um, could do the life insurance play where I'm gonna put a little bit in the whole life too, have a little emergency savings that way that comes with a death benefit. That's pretty dope. So I feel like I touched on all the financial aspects, but what was this? The second part is like of the question,
A money play.
money play.
Hmm.
Well, it depends on what you're good at. Like if
That's
you,
facts.
I think whatever your money play is, it should be something that you have a little bit of knowledge or skills behind, so then it won't feel like a chore. It'll
Hmm.
feel like an actual play. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna run this, I'm gonna run that. One play that I think makes a lot of sense for a lot of people is the, I'm not gonna say the drop shipping play, but like if you really think about it, bro, you could go on Alibaba, make an account, get some type of viral item, and then
Hmm.
put it on the Amazon storefront and run ads to that. That's just, and the thing about it is it's so easy now because you don't need to ever touch the inventory.
Hmm.
You just have to
They ship
have
it
the
for you, right?
connection. Yeah,
Hmm.
like I'm grabbing it from Alibaba, I'm throwing it on Amazon. I never needed to really have the inventory in my hands.
Hmm.
But Alibaba got it for $1. I'm gonna sell it for 10. You literally, that's a 10x on your money.
Facts.
That's one play. The other play is, I mean, it's a million plays I could say,
Hmm.
but it really depends on what you're good at. You know, it could just be like, yo, I love driving, bro. Get an Uber, jump in
Facts.
Uber, do Friday, Saturday nights because you're gonna get more money that way, and you can make a few bucks in a few hours.
Hmm.
Cool, you know, or Instacart. It's
Facts.
a million ways to make money now. So I always say like, bro, ain't no reason to be broke. I don't care who you are. Broke is a mindset first of all, but second of all, if you switch your mindset, you'll come into some ideas that'll help you, or at least listen to a podcast or something.
Bless
You good, bro? Where it teaches you like, oh shit, I could do that.
you.
I mean, don't even get me started on real estate. Like you could do wholesaling. Wholesaling is not easy, but you got no skin in the game, and you can make 5, 10, $15,000 from phone calls
And you don't need a license.
at all. So like that's another. You drive for dollars, go down the street, find that boarded up house, go on fastpeoplesearch.com, figure out who owns that house, call that number. That's a whole play right there. So
Facts.
yeah, if if I had the time, I would definitely be wholesaling because it's like you can't really lose. All you're doing is spending time.
Facts.
So
Hmm. Find
that's
some
that.
investors, and you
Exactly.
just
Get
play.
cool with it. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I
Hmm.
said this before, but there's a real estate investor named Henry Washington. Henry Washington. He probably a little older than me.
Hmm.
I saw a viral clip come up where he was speaking to some people, I guess, who wanted to be into real estate. He was like, all you gotta do is go on LinkedIn or Facebook and say, hey, my name is, I'm looking to buy real estate in this area. I will be paying $1,000 for any single family and $5,000 for any multifamily that I'm connected to. And then your phone starts blowing up. Bro, I did that and it did. And
Dang.
I was just want to see if it worked. And
Hmm.
people who do wholesale and start calling me, realtors start calling me. Like it just turned into a thing. But
Wow.
he said that play, I ran it, and I'm just like, oh shit, like this really works. But it
Hmm.
makes sense because how could it not work? People will see that post and be like 5,000, 1,000. Oh, I'm in there.
Facts.
I'm gonna find a property for them, and
Hmm.
they will literally bring you deals.
Facts.
So
And
yeah,
that's what they want. That's making
exactly.
their life easier. If you
Hmm.
make somebody life easier, yeah, if you make somebody life easier, that's how you get paid.
Low key, yeah, that's the name of the game in any situation. Making someone's life easier, aka providing value,
Hmm.
will get you paid. And the more you try it, the better you'll get. And then people will start to associate you like that. Like, okay, I already know Jordan. He into this and that kind of business, and it helps cultivate the relationship. So that's a
Hmm.
good question because it kind of brung everything we talked about full circle.
Facts.
Yeah.
And to kind of wrap up, I know we talked about this on one of the other episodes, but I think it was an audio problem with the other episode, so we had to redo it. But so what is a financial advisor, and how can people connect with us so that we can help them get to where they want to be?
Well, financial advisor, contrary to popular belief, is someone who has the best interest in their clients.
Hmm.
Um, and the easiest way would be come on down to our office or like subscribe. Like if you think about it, we're making this podcast to raise awareness on
Hmm.
how to help people many different ways. But both of us could, potentially be the next financial advisor for whoever is looking. But to really dive deep on the what is a financial advisor, I would say it's a person who helps you create, manage, and preserve wealth.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and if you want to get in contact, I mean, Instagram, Facebook,
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn,
I'm on everything as just my name. Well,
or
Instagram is Jordan DeLorean, but it still say my name. So Jordan Davis.
even if you go on Google and type in either of our names,
It's a
it'll
fact.
pop up. So,
Try to make it real
um,
easy to find us.
facts. So, But yeah, that's episode 4, y'all, man. Let us know what y'all want to hear us talk about
Mm-hmm.
going forward. We're gonna continue bringing y'all value. We're gonna continue making the podcast better.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just give us y'all feedback. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your people. It's nothing but value, things that people should know, things that will help people get to where they want to be, and we all deserve to get to where we want to be
Facts.
because God wants us to fulfill our purpose. And in order to do that, it
Mm-hmm.
comes down to information, execution, and believing in yourself. So,
Peace.
talk to y'all.